Hi, this is Mark Mollenkopf from the PantryTrak team at the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. I want to take a couple of minutes to explain some of the updates that we've been making to the Main Pantry Report. I'm currently logged in as one of our partner agencies in Lakewood, Ohio. As many of you have seen on your main menu for the last month or so, we've had a preview of the new Pantry Report up and available for you with some explainer information. When you click on that link, it opens up and just provides a little bit of detail about what we're building and how we're updating it. A new piece of that update is an infographic that we've added to explain how unduplicated counts are actually derived. You can click on that link and it'll open this simple infographic. If you assume that your agency has served just one family each of the last 3 months, then from this infographic you would see that in July the unduplicated count was 3 persons. The unduplicated count in August of that same family, because one new person came into the family, is now 4. And then in September the makeup of the family changed again, with one of the original 3 members of the household leaving the household, along with the green member from August, and then the addition of a new member for the month of September. So again, the September count is 3, August unduplicated count is 4, and July unduplicated count is 3. However, if you run this report then for the time span of these 3 months, so let's say that's Q3 or quarter 3 of 2025, the actual unduplicated count would be 5. It would be the 3 original blue members plus the green household member and the red household member. So unduplicated counts are, just as they say, it is the unique household members, not an average of the number of people in the household in any given month, but in fact, it's the number of unique or different folks that were touched through the services. Let's run a couple of examples of the reports, and then we can talk about how they differ from the old style of the report to the new. To run the new report, it's linked right here in this message. So the Main Pantry Report preview, I'll just right click, open this in a new tab. And at the same time, I'll go run the existing Main Pantry Report also in a new tab. So this will be the new one, and we'll pick the month of August. And the existing report, again, we'll pick the month of August. The format of the reports is basically the same, with a little bit of cleanup to make it easier to view on the screen. Here's the new report. Let's run through the key details that have always been part of the Main Pantry Report. The service summary shows that for the month of August, there were 1,438 unique households that were served, and based on the counts of the people that were in those households at that time in August, the duplicated count, so total number of persons served, was 3,446. But again, that is the duplicated count. The key difference for the new Main Pantry reports are the updates to the unduplicated counts. In this case, there were 922 unique households that received these 1,438 visits. And in those 922 households, there were exactly 2,043 unique individuals in the month of August that were part of those service visits. One of the differences, I'll switch to the old style of the report, was that the counts would vary across the unduplicated counts here and the unduplicated counts when adding up the demographic details. This had to do with how we were doing the reporting against unduplicated counts. So in the new reports, we've cleaned up that process. It follows exactly this logic of the infographic here. And so the updated counts for the month of August for this agency was 2,043 unique individuals. And you'll see that information flow all the way down through and be consistent through all of the demographic details, including the gender, race, ethnicity, and so forth. So again, 2,043 unique individuals. Sometimes we don't always have a gender identified for every person, so the not specified will show up as where we have an empty value in the system. Demographics, same way. For race, ethnicity, military service, education, employment status. And again, for the most part, these individuals were not asked these questions, and so therefore it wasn't populated on these reports. Reason for assistance flows through from the visits and the duplicated head count. Zip codes served has always been part of the Main Pantry Report. And again, the totals show the exact counts for 922 unique households and 2,043 unique individuals, and the zip codes that are assigned to those families. New to this report is the cities served section. This has been a common refrain and common question over the years because some agencies receive their funding from cities and other municipalities. So we have the totals again for each of the family addresses based on their zip code and the primary city of their zip code. And then likewise for counties, this is for Cuyahoga County. It's not showing the name here correctly. That's why this report is still in preview, but we do know that this is in fact the correct code for Cuyahoga County in Ohio. The frequency of usage, because this report was for just 1 month, and this agency does allow families to come back more than one time in the month. You can see the number of families that came in one time, the number of families who made 2 visits in the month. And the 406 and the 516 here do in fact add up to the same count of the unduplicated households. The Venn diagrams here represent the total pantry visits, so the 1,438 total pantry visits, and then the 922 visits that were just for the unduplicated counts. They're similar in their ratios, but obviously the count numbers are different. And then the frequency of distribution. So as we saw with the frequency chart here, where 516 of the families did in fact get 2 visits in the month, we see that represented on this chart as well. These are the key changes to the Main Pantry Report over time. The report does take into account for each state the differences in how that state classifies what is a senior versus an adult. This report is run in the state of Ohio, and so seniors are listed as 60 plus, but other states it will be 65 plus, and the report automatically adjusts, and that does flow through to all of the other places where we list information about seniors. The service summary section has remained mostly unchanged in this report. And again, it is based on the types of service provided throughout the month. So for this agency, they provided just one type of service, a pre-packed pantry with a 3-day supply of food. They provided that to 1,438 visits with 3,446 individuals. And a 3-day supply times 3 meals a day would be 9 meals. 9 meals times 3446 gets this number of approximately 31,000 meals provided. I hope this helps explain a bit more about how the new pantry report operates, and feel free to reach out to us. Again, my name is Mark Mollenkopf. I'm part of the PantryTrak and FreshTrak team at the Mid-Ohio Food Collective in Columbus, Ohio. We can be reached at FreshTrak@mofc.org, and we look forward to supporting you.